I set things up usually in folders, so I will have Nights in the Sega section. And this is going to be covering the actual Nights into Dreams game a little bit, because it's actually technically two games we're dealing with here, as far as how they originally released. Because this is Nights into Dreams, this is the HD version that came out in 2012. It's actually a 1996 game for the Sega Saturn, which I don't have the Sega Saturn version. My girlfriend has it, but as I said, this is the one I own. And it includes Christmas Nights, which was a separate release. I think it was also 1996. As an unlockable in here. So we're going to take a look at that. But first, we're going to take a look at the actual Nights game, just as baseline. Which was developed by Sonic Team. Yeah, during the Saturn days, we had Yuji Naka not making a Sonic game. And he was kind of working on this instead of, anything else. Well, there was Sonic Extreme, which is being developed by Sega Technical Institute, the team who made Sonic 2. But that game got canceled, and with that, no massive representation of Sonic on that system, or Sonic Team, aside from this one, as far as the Sonic Team side of things. What a game this is. Definitely a game that if you talk to hardcore fans of Saturn, hardcore fans of artistry and games, they will talk about this game, and for good reason. Alright, and this is, as you're seeing, the HD version, which was for the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. It will play on your Xbox One, no problem. Which comes with the Sega Saturn view of things, the HD enhanced graphical look, and then the Christmas streams, which is the take on Christmas Nights. We'll do that in a little bit. We're going to go a little classic to show off this, because they give you the display look of it on the Saturn. Wait in widescreen. So again, this is going to be a brief demonstration of how this works. And you have two kids in this game who are your playable characters. You have Elliot and you have Claris. Now, as the story goes, they have their own dreams of things. She wants to be a famous singer. He wants to be a basketball player. But, like, nightmarian elements are keeping them from doing that or holding them down as far as their fears. So they meet Nights, the character you saw in the intro, who's an intentionally androgynous character, and you'll understand why in just a second, to help them out through their dream world. So we're going to go to the first dream area, which is Spring Valley. We're going to take Claris out for a run. There's not much difference between the characters as far as how they play. Speaking of how this game plays, that's where things get a little interesting. He's running around in 3D perspective, but then you always run into these guys, just take your stuff and put them in these canisters. So what you got to do is you got to walk over to this portal, and there's Night. Now, you go around on a 2D plane with a 3D background like this, doing spins and flips and collecting blue orbs and anything else that comes around, or looping over things to capture them. Now, the idea is you need to collect 20 of these blue orbs and also go through rings to get links going on as far as points. Now, when you get 20 of them, you hit that holder, and I'll do that in just a second. That starts bonus time. Now, in bonus time, everything is worth more points, and you're able to keep going around the course unless you hit that area there, which means you go to the next section of the stage. There we go, Marvelous 9. And you want to get as many tricks going as you can maximize your points. I'm going to need it because I failed the last section. I got an A on this one, at least. And when you do certain things, certain areas, you do pick up new icons and things, and you can clear out the Nighttopians out by looping them. Oh, or get hit and lose time, which is what happened last time. The thing about this game, though, and I probably should have mentioned this, is that if it looks like I'm kind of going all over the place as far as how my controls are, well, that's kind of the idea of the game, just basically looping around and hitting A in this case to do this spiral dash, which is powered by that meter on the lower left-hand corner of the screen. But when this came on the Sega Saturn, it came packaged with an actual controller, a new controller that was specifically designed for it, called the 3D Control Pad, which has an analog stick, was the first one on the Saturn to have one, and was designed around the analog movements and rotations of Nights in this game. Now, as good a game as this is on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, if you have the chance to play this with the Saturn controller, please, 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 please play it with that, because the movement of that controller, the way the responsiveness is, just the way that controller is designed with its analog stick, it's almost like a rotating disc. It's not like any other analog stick that I'm really aware of. Even the Dreamcast controller, which it's very much like. You'd argue that was like a prototype for the Dreamcast pad would be. But it has this 360-degree movement to it, and you kind of just slide the thing. And for this game in particular, you can tell that they designed that for it, and it is just deliciously wonderful to play with that. Even playing with the 360 controls, like I'm missing turns and things more than I'd like, whereas on Saturn, that's not happening. So if you can get this game on Saturn and get the controller for it, I would highly recommend you do that. Alright, I completed all those areas. And by doing that, you get an overall grade for the section, and you have to fight the Nightmare. So in this case, is this guy, who I believe I have to pretty much chase him down and hit him, and I also have to beat him before the time runs out, otherwise it's a game over, and I gotta start the entire level over again. Including those 4 sections I did. I usually do this, is you kind of have to bounce around things to find what you could use to get towards him. I think with this one, you basically just have to kind of chase him and kind of fake him out. You also have enough of that dashing power in order to get to him, basically. Not running out of it, because when you run out of it, that's a miserable situation. I don't think he takes a whole lot of damage, a lot of hits, I should say. Ow! Yeah, those mice, whatever they are, keep blindsiding me with bombs. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do this one, honestly. But again, this is more showing off what this game is before I go to the Christmas Day section of things. Have fun. I almost had him. I don't think you have to hit him many times. I think you only have to hit him once. Yeah, I think we're going to be stuck in the Nightmare on this one. Or not. Okay, I just got him. Alright, that was close. Yeah, you only have to hit him once, but sometimes it takes a while to get over there and get him. Not all the bosses are like this. There's definitely other ones that are a bit different that they want you to do. With that, I got an overall C on Spring Valley. With that, then they give you a replay of what you played. And I like that idea. The idea is giving you all the information as far as how you played it, what your moves were, feasibly study it. But for the purpose of this, we're just going to exit. I'm going to pull another level up. They give you little hints as far as this. Beat the Nightmarian bosses swiftly, and points of Nightopia will increase as well. It's basically all the points I get. I'll get more of them if I beat the bosses faster. Actually, for one of them, there's an achievement in here where you have to basically beat it in one hit by doing a parallel around it. But I've never done it, so... Alright, I'm going to try... Let's take a look at Elliot, then. I think after this, then we'll play one of the brand new dreams to show the graphical update, and then we'll go to the Christmas side. Same deal as Claire, you start out moving 3D, and then you go into this section and go into 2D to play as knights, to grab all the orbs you need, and to do other things. Alright, in that case, I'm storing in the orbs I have now, but again, also keep the links going. But they also add some other concepts as far as that, like different environmental aspects, the stars, which also give you link points, there's dash panels. But yeah, you can definitely tell this is by the Sonic team. Yeah, just basically just pull all the areas there to get all of the orbs that you need, and I think that's enough. No, it's not enough. I need 4 more. Give you many orbs on this stage. You kind of have to go around a lot. And again, be quick, because the sooner that you get the orbs in here to start bonus time, the better. Because they give you more points for that, and also you have more time to just kind of play around and ensure that you get the high links. And again, if I was playing this on the Saturn, I'd probably be playing it better, although... Because as far as the Christmas night section of this, I actually had to beat this game in order to unlock it in this one, whereas on Saturn, it's just a different release. So, by having to do that, I was able to actually get a little better at playing the 360 version of it, or in this case, the Xbox One version, because I'm playing it. So now I'm actually playing it a bit better than I was before, although if I play this thing on Saturn, I'd basically be like controlling it way better than this. I think that's all I'm going to get, so I'm going to go in here. Alright, I got a B. It's fine for the time being of this. And this one, the only reason to get higher scores is... I think there is something you unlock with what they call the A-Life system of this, which actually was then used to build the Chow aspect of Sonic Adventure. And then also for this 360 version and also on PS3, you get an achievement or a trophy for collecting all the, or for getting A ranks on everything. But again, it's actually a lot harder than it looks. Especially if you didn't grow up with this game. And actually, I didn't grow up with this game. I played this game way later. In fact, it wasn't until 2012 when this HD release came out that I actually played it because I didn't have a Saturn growing up. I mean, I barely even played it growing up, too. Actually, this is long for going around as far as this, so... I think I'm not going to have much time for bonus time on this one. One more orb. So with that, I'm going to go back. Usually you can go back. I just want to unlock that bonus time. There we go. Then also build up my dash building, which you build up by going through those rings, by the way. And then you run into those water areas there, which actually will inhibit your movement when you first go into it. So, yeah, like that. I'm just basically dashing right into it. Alright, yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't have done that, but I was actually running out of time anyway, so it's probably for the best. It would have been nice if I could have been getting that broken right away. Actually, I kind of can, it's just that I need to make sure I'm hitting everything on the way in. That's good. I got 90 seconds worth of bonus time to play around with. Oh yeah, and it does change your perspective up a little bit depending on the stage. In this case, we have an overhead view, but in another stage, you also have going towards or away from the camera. So it does everything it can to give you a 3D perspective on a game that you're basically controlling on a track. But it is nice as far as how it looks, and also, again, giving you this experience that, aside from the other games in the series, or the other games in the series, not really anything else that plays quite like Nights. There's something to be said about that. This one lap around the course. Again, some courses are longer than others, so you'll have more time in some cases. There we go. Yeah, I probably should have mentioned, when you go through those blue and yellow loops like that, the ones with the stars on them, that's what gets you into that time where you can kind of do the stunts. That's B. Alright, so next section. I do like when you go through these different sections and you like complete an area, it adds more of this world, which is basically just a massive cube. It kind of starts at the top and then ends at the bottom. But it was a clever way of them getting 3D going as far as this game, because if you're someone who's familiar with the Sega Saturn, you know it was not designed around 3D particularly, unless it was like for like arcade conversions like Virtua Fighter and things like that. It was actually a very weak console as far as its 3D was concerned, so the fact they were able to get this going with this and make it look as good as they did at all is quite an accomplishment. It definitely is one of the best looking games on the Saturn, I would say, and one of the best games on the Saturn, too. One, if you own the Sega Saturn, I think you should absolutely have this. But if you own the Sega Saturn, you also know that those game prices are getting more and more expensive by the day. In fact, maybe even by the second. Because it didn't sell well here, so everything now is really hard to find. So you're going to be spending quite a lot of money if you want to get a collection of games on that thing going. You can ask my girlfriend that. She has the Saturn, and she knows how difficult it is to collect on it. But it's the kind of thing that when she collects stuff for it, she's always excited about saying, like, oh yeah, I got my money's worth paying for something like this. Especially games that she bought before they started to get super expensive, of which this actually was one of them. It definitely was a good choice. And she did make sure to get the controller, which is how I was able to experience just how wonderfully this game plays with it. And again, it plays fine with PS3 and 360 pads, but you want to play this with the Saturn controller. It's what it was designed around, and it's one of those forms of analog control that just doesn't exist on other systems. Alright, that's section 4. So with that, we got the boss to go into. Alright, let's see. What is the boss here? Oh yeah! Gillowing, I believe it is. There's an achievement in this version to parallel him once and kill him, but I don't know if you have to get him down to a specific size, but the way I tend to do it, just kind of go into his chin like that, don't touch his teeth or his spiky tail or you'll lose time. Just keep going about that, dash right into him, dash backwards. Just keep going, enjoy that great jazzy music. Actually, this is one of my favorite boss themes in this game. As long as you keep this up, you should be good. Perfect. Actually, probably one of the fastest times I've ever gotten beating him. Alright, that calls for a pose. Which, by the way, you do in this collection by... Okay, you're changing directions. You do that by hitting the left and right trigger in this version. And I think the Saturn version works the same way, but... don't quote me on that. Don't mind me, I was just taking a swig of my adult beverage, which I'm definitely enjoying a good amount of this weekend. Just to kind of get relaxed and going, and again, just enjoy the end of the year. It is really nice. There's nothing like, at the end of the day, or just enjoying these Christmas holiday days, if you've had them, just sit back, have a nice drink, and just relax or something. In this case, it's like, it's kind of fitting I'm drinking wine while playing nice, because this is a game that's aged like a fine wine. In a lot of different ways. Even more so on the system it originally was on, although, again, this collection, or this HD re-release, has some neat stuff that rationalizes the purchase, especially if you don't have it on Saturn. And if you're a Sonic Adventure player, just to go into this briefly, you're hearing this music go on, this theme was also used for the Knights Pinball section of Casinopolis. So they actually did a nice little attention to detail on this, including like running into knights and having them carry you across certain areas. Actually, that's a game I should get to at some point. In fact, actually, this is a little bit of a programming note, I guess, as I'm just sitting here enjoying my beverage and having you enjoy the music and the sights. I kind of want to do that next year. I kind of want to play more Sonic games because next year is the 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's a franchise that I've played many entries in, and I have well more than 12 of them to play. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a Sonic game a month. I already did Sonic 2 for the Game Gear and the Game Gear, so I won't be doing that one again, but I have a bunch of other ones I want to play. So I think I'll do that. Not next week. For next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'll pick something out of interest and we'll play around with it. You know, let's play one more stage for regular Knights in the brand new Dreams mode, which basically is they cleaned up the graphics. Actually, no, let's play. Oh yeah, whoa, look at that. Yeah, let's go back to Spring Valley with Claris. And then it's going to be Christmas time in the Christmas Knights game. Back we are at Spring Valley. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, it's interesting going from the Saturn look to the HD look, because this does look beautiful. And it also shows, I think, for Sega, how they actually are able to do stuff pretty impressive for bringing games to the Sega Saturn back. Because that's always a tough thing for Sega, because the way the Saturn was developed as a system is as a dual architecture, one for the 3D aspect and one for its 2D aspect, which was mostly a 2D machine. Makes it really hard to emulate for, which is why a lot of Saturn games have not gotten re-releases. And there's also other ones that their source code apparently has been lost to time, and good luck trying to get stuff going on with that. I'm talking Panzer Saga in that situation, and that game goes for like well over $1,000 in general, so people would love to have a re-release or a remake or something like that. I guess that's why we're buying the Panzer Dragoon collection, or the Panzer Dragoon remake that's out for Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, because maybe it's saying like, hey Sega, can we get a remake of that game? Hopefully. I mean, they're remaking Panzer Dragoon 2, which is also a great game for Saturn, and also one that's rising in price by the day, but so here's hoping. But again, with some of the Saturn games that Sega has done re-releases for, like this, and Fighting Vipers, and Guardian Heroes, they do a pretty good job of it, and I guess they kind of make it look easy with some of these, so maybe they can get some other Saturn games going. I sure hope so. As I was saying when I was playing Scramble earlier, I love just getting like re-releases of stuff, basically preserving games as far as situations like that. I'm glad they did it with Knights. Actually, this isn't even the first time they've done it with Knights, because Knights was ported to the PlayStation 2 in Japan, but we didn't get that version, so we got this HD version, so I don't think we're really losing out on that much. There we go. HBNA, perfect. Alright, I want to go back down there and get those. I may not be able to. Now, there we go. I mean, I'm saying it's a little hard to control with this controller compared to it on the Saturn, but it's still better than how the sequel on the Wii played. It's kind of, yeah, a lot of fans don't want to talk about that Wii game, and I kind of understand why. Part of it is the controls, even though they give you every controller option under the sun to play it with. Actually, I remember when I played it, I actually was able to try each and every one of them and find out, like, okay, GameCube pad is probably the best way to go about that one, but even then it still relaxed the responsiveness of this version, which was too bad. Especially because people were begging for a sequel to Knights for years, and unfortunately I think that one was kind of proving the adage of, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And I hate to say that, because this game is awesome. It definitely is, as I said, there's nothing else in the history of gaming, I can say, ever played quite like this one. That probably is the best compliment I can pay to this. I gotta get over there before my time runs out. And I just made it. That should be an A. Yeah, you want to take that risk reward so you can have a high score like that. Fantastic 6. There we go. hate when you hit things like that. It's usually because you often can't see them. Not to say this game is necessarily badly designed, it's just a situation where oftentimes you get blindsided with stuff you can't see. It doesn't happen often, but it does make things a little more hairy if you're trying to go for a high score or get through effectively. All right, there's a wonderful 5, and we're busting this down. I'm actually trying for more than a 9, because I believe there's an achievement for this where if you get more than 10, you get quite a couple achievement points. Again, I do like the idea of going after achievements, so that's kind of where I come down with this. Although I gotta get moving because I'm gonna run out of time. In fact, you know what? I'm going back. I'm not gonna make it going all the way around the course. Thankfully you can do that, and since I had bonus time running, it didn't make a difference. There we go. Yeah, because it's 20 to destroy one of those canisters. And you want to usually make sure you have 20 when you first pass it, but again, as we've seen with some of the stages, it's not always possible. You basically have to prioritize getting those and being fast about it. And it kind of adds a little bit of a racing game time attack vibe to it, which I do like. Because it does give you a little more incentive to keep coming back if you want to get higher scores. And also understand how the controls will move and grab and hitting things like that. Cutting this one close. Nah, I'm not making it. Oh, so close. That's always what happens. You just barely miss it. And that's a guaranteed F. Yeah, if you fail to get to the compartment there in time, you get an instant F. I was so close. I almost had an A on that. Yeah, we get to fight this boss. I guess they randomize them after you beat the game. Because I haven't fought a similar one once. I remember this guy throwing the cards. Always a tough thing, because again, they'll hit you and you lose time. You kind of go underneath him and nail him that way. Actually running out of dash, so I might be in trouble. I don't have any rings or anything to increase it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat him now without this. But and that's okay, because again, I'm basically just showing off Knights to show off, hey, this is the game, and also put into some context what's going to go on. We play the Christmas Knights game. But if you hit him, actually that's what you want to do. You want to get him into a little bit of a pattern that way so you can just kind of hold on to him and knock him across. This is going to be close. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Okay, yeah, I definitely did it there. Yeah, and when you fail and run out of time, that's your night over, and unfortunately you gotta start again. But, okay, remove Jackal's cape before attacking, which is what I was doing. Okay, so that's Jackal. I don't remember the names of everybody in this game, so you have to forgive me about that. I'm not necessarily a massive expert on this game, but enough of one that I can always tell a decent story. Alright, with that, I think we're going to start the Christmas Nights portion, which is, I think, what the whole point of this is all about. Or the whole point of this stream tonight.